All-Star game the same date of the incident. What was the error there is that the All-Star game was on February 18th of 2018, and the court said that we didn't have credible evidence at that time about it, so that's why the judicial notice. And she did that job. And when this incident happened in 2018, that was cut off. She lost her future in security work, in something further, whether it's FBI, police, attorney, whatever she wanted to do. The defendant, when she came to the building, instead of listening to the plaintiff, to listening to her commands, you got to do this, you got to do that, please leave the building, different commands were given to her, which none were followed. They were all ignored. Instead, the defendant thought that, Miss Ellis was on her phone. She was telling people that I'm here. These were the thoughts that were going through her head at the time, and she's testified to those. However, that's not the case. Miss Ellis testified that she's never had a fight before. She's never done anything to harm anybody. She's never had any fight with anybody. And her mother and her grandmother also testified. She's a model citizen. She's a hardworking person, and she simply, her whole goal of doing this, to be here and sit here and go through this, is so she could move on with her life.
There in the beginning, but we know from her testimony that she was near the door, immediately ran out when she heard yelling. Now we have a visual rendering based on plaintiff's own photograph of the hallway outside the doctor's office and based on the testimony and Cardi of Ms. Malcolm. This shows Cardi's pregnant, early in her pregnancy, and this person comes up to her in black boots and starts yelling at her. Cardi was concerned about her, and scared, frankly, about what she might do to her unborn baby. Cardi also testified she was confused. Why is this going on? Why is a security guard doing this? Why is she filming me? Why is she following me? Cardi also told plaintiff specifically that plaintiff was invading her privacy. But when Cardi told plaintiff to leave her alone, plaintiff went berserk. She yelled, it was plaintiff's phone. Plaintiff said, "That's my phone. This is my building. You can't tell me what to do." That's what Cardi testified, and it's consistent with what Tierra Malcolm and Dr. Finke testified. But plaintiff advanced on Cardi, screaming and yelling and forcing Cardi backwards down to the hall to a corner, coming chest to chest with Cardi, yelling at Cardi about how this is her building. She can do whatever she wants. Now, hearing the yelling, the doctor's receptionist, Tierra Malcolm, and then the doctor intervened and tried to get plaintiffs to stop and leave. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. In the meantime, Cardi testified that she and plaintiff yelled and used curse words, but neither struck the other. Cardi did not strike plaintiff. Plaintiff tried but did not strike Cardi. Can I just add one thing?
Sure.
I've been sitting here throughout the whole trial. Plaintiff has never looked this way, so I don't know what she's talking about.
Okay.
Second, plaintiff is halfway between Cardi and the jury box and the witness. I have never seen Cardi do anything else other than watch. Sometimes he, in response to a witness, may wonder what. But I have not seen anything that plaintiff's counsel has claimed.
Okay.
The plaintiff, Emani Ellis, proved all of the following elements of battery. 1. Defendant Belcalis Marlenes Almanzar, Ms. Almanzar, touched Ms. Ellis in the intent to harm or offend Ms. Ellis. Number 2, Ms. Ellis did not consent to being touched. Number 3, Ms. Ellis was harmed or offended by Ms. Almanzar's conduct. And 4, a reasonable person in Ms. Ellis' situation would have been offended by the touching. Answer, no. Question 2, did Ms. Ellis prove all of the following elements of assault? Number 1, Ms. Almanzar acted with the intent to cause harmful or offensive contact with Ms. Ellis. Number 2, Ms. Ellis reasonably believed that she was about to be touched in a harmful or an offensive manner. Number 3, Ms. Ellis did not consent to Ms. Almanzar's conduct. Number 4, Ms. Ellis was harmed. And number 5, Ms. Almanzar's conduct was a substantial factor in causing Ms. Ellis's harm. Answer, no.